It's April 14th, 2025, and I'm keeping a video log of all the work that we've done and just to see how well the plants are going. This little green thing is like a huckleberry. I don't know what it is. Some kind of fruit, something. Then we have what are the blueberries. And we dug all this up and put in strained dirt and everything. This is one of our fruit trees. That's another one. That's another one. And the garden, I started in November, and I took all the dirt out and strained it through a chicken wire strainer, which took the rocks out and took any problems out. So it's still 50 degrees out here, and not much is really growing. But I want to keep a record of what we're doing here. These are lettuce, spinach, I don't know. The wife put this in here. And these are radishes, I think. And then these are onions, I think. Those are carrots, those little tiny ones. And in the corners, here and here and over here, I was growing some potatoes, just offshoot potatoes. And what I do is when I was straining the soil, I'd find a spare potato, and I planted them all in this corner right here. And these are potatoes, these big green things, which are great. So we'll just let them grow, see what happens. And then these little teeny things are supposed to be tomatoes. And we'll see what happens there. This is my cherry tree, about 3 years old. The deer has gotten to the small lower branches. Next door is this Rockstar's big pink mansion. It's a huge place, nobody's ever there. And this fence here, chain link fence, is 8 feet tall, and it's 300 feet long, going that way and that way. And you can see all the big trees he's got. This is a new garden area that I put in because I was gonna I wanted some more garden area because the tomatoes had grown so big. And these are, I don't know what the hell these are. We think that these little tiny things are watermelons, which a friend of my daughter gave us from their patch in College Place. Best tasting watermelons in the world. So that's why we kept the seeds. These are the peas. And this is a chicken wire I used for all the straining. And this stuff is rabbit food or some kind of bullshit. I don't know what it is. I don't even know why it's in my garden, but maybe lightning will strike it or something. So I put these are some more peas that we bought. And this is a weird thing. I'd like to ask all of you out there in gardening land, is that we went and bought some packets of seeds. Usually you get like, a fairly big packet of peas, tomatoes, everything. You get these packets for $4 with nothing in them, and then you go to plant them, and half of them don't grow. Now I'm just wondering if anyone else out there in gardening land has got this problem, because I think that us gardeners are getting screwed without the Vaseline. Here's the other cherry tree that I planted along with this other little one over here. And this is our big pink tree. I don't know what it is, but that's one reason I like being out here is at this time of year is I like to put it on video because it's such a cool looking tree. And I'm getting so old it's hard to do any yard work, but I figure what the hell, in 10 years really won't matter anyway. Not at my age. And this is a really nice big tree. Of course, it matches the purple house. Me and my wife were walking down the street, and there was this tree stump removal place. Sign that said free bark. Yeah, right. My wife called them. They brought a dump truck the next day. Free. It's all blue fir, I think, something like that. This is a really nice tree that we're gonna. I just have a new granddaughter, Ava and Finn. We're gonna put a tree fort up there. They're gonna have some. They're gonna be spoiled like you wouldn't believe. Here is. These are my blackberries, which are my babies. And they didn't grow well last year for some reason, but I've cleaned them up, taken care of them. They got special watering. They're real nice. Over here is one of our miniature peach trees. I think it's peach. No, not apricot, not peach. Nectarine. And of course, I have the Old Spice. No. I have this soap right here because deers don't like that, supposedly. And next door with the mansion, they got deers over there. Here's another one. And then I got a huge grape in the back that I'm stringing up all along the top of the house. And it goes all the way over to this side over here. And it's just barely starting to, what do they call it? Come out. And this is my neighborhood. It's a cul-de-sac. Really nice neighbors. One guy's a doctor, another guy's an electrical engineer. One guy's a real big farmer, and I'm a loser. So I figure we got a little bit of all society. Over here, this is a nice tree that was planted in this courtyard of ours in 1967, and the thing has just gotten huge. But this is a great time of year to film it. I got my Zuma out, and I got all my parts for my racing Honda, which I have to get done. What I found is when you get in your 60s, it really doesn't matter. When the cold weather hits, it is extremely hard to do anything. When you're young, you can go out and, work 3 days a week without sleep, everything else. And when you get older, it just sucks. Now I realize why people go to these vacation homes in Arizona and everything. Right after Thanksgiving, they pack up their house and go down to Arizona for 6 months and come back 1st of May. I'd love to do that, but first of all, you got to be really wealthy. And then you got to be really wealthy, and then you have to have money to play that. So this is a lilac tree, I think. Here's our third cherry tree that I bought. These were just little whips when I bought them a few years ago, and they've already flowered. But this is what's called a van cherry. Shit. Sorry about that. Real nice, and I kept that on here. Over here, these are not gooseberries or blackberries, or they're like blackberries, but they're really, really cool. I got it from an old house that my wife knew, and we've been growing them over here. Those are black currants? No, those are gooseberries. Okay, and they'll have separate watering systems to them. The wife says don't water them, they won't taste very well. And I said, well, if they don't have water, then they're not going to grow at all anyway. So I'm just going to have to make a command decision in the field and water them myself. And you can see the bark we put over here. And the grass doesn't grow that well over here because our house is on an ancient riverbed. And you go down about a foot, and all there is hard-packed round rocks, and it is, you need a nuclear shovel just to go down very far. There's a rose bush, little rose bush. This is another little rose bush. This is my red currant I really like. And this is a fruit berry bush, whatever the hell that is. We bought these for like 12 bucks a piece. I don't know about you out in gardening land, but these plants you buy, they're just extremely expensive. Everything is extremely expensive. So that's about the way it's going in my little backyard. I've got good neighbors. I have right over here you can see the pink mansion. We've been here 20 years. I've only heard one or two people over there. I don't know how a musician or person or anybody can have a mansion they come to 2 or 3 weeks out of the year and pay all those taxes and all the cleanup. You see these gigantic trees? These are all the trees to the mansion. And what I heard is that just to pick up the leaves every year costs almost 6 figures. It's beautiful to have a neighbor like this. And the nice thing is, this used to be Washington State Governor's Mansion years ago. It's considered a heritage site so that they can't tear it down and put up condos. So we had a nice backyard. And I'll end with just my real nice, look at the trees. Matches my purple house. All right, this is Dio Speed Demon. Rock on.